Hi Tightliners, and welcome back to the channel. I'm back at a very popular mark again today. Bright sunshine, northeasterly winds, low water just about now. So we're going to fish it up into darkness. I'm on my own. Adrian couldn't make it today. Last minute, couldn't make it. Anyway, we'll make an arrangement to go see Adrian again another time. So I've got two big rods out at the moment with two big baits. So I've got one out with a pulley rig with a 6-0 hook with the bluey and squid bait. And on the other one I have got a mackerel and squid bait on an up and over using a dongle for the very first time on a 6-0 circle hook. Don't know. I've seen reports that say that this dongle thing works. Well, we'll find out in a bit. Right. Just before I turned the camera on, I just started getting a couple of noises off the ratchet on the reel. On the right hand rod here, that's the one that's got bluey on and squid. We'll see what happens with this now, we'll let it develop. I haven't seen anything proper exciting yet. So, os oes 'na rhywbeth yn digwydd, ro'ch chi nôl. Well, things are very slow at the moment. The first two baits are still in the water. Nothing came from that little tap. So I've now put a scratching rig in as well, 3-hook flapper, ragworm on 2 hooks, a little bit of squid on the other, just to see if we can save the blank. It's early days yet, I am waiting. It is only now coming up to 6 o'clock, and I am going to be staying here until, well, at least 9, possibly 10 o'clock. I'll give the big baits another 10 minutes and I've already got some there ready to go to freshen things up. No milk chydig. Well, Tightliners, I just went down the bottom over there, throwing the small, very small scratching rig out, and I got one small pollock. So I've saved a blank. That's the start. One fish. There's got to be more. I've already got a pollock this season, so there's not a new one, so it doesn't count for anything in the species hunt. Anyway, lechen on chydig. It's a start. Right, fish on the scratching rig. I think it might be a dogfish, I don't know. You know, it's a bit light for a doggy possibly. But it could be a fish or a description or other. go, tightliners. It just popped off just as I was lifting it over my crossed line. There we go. First fish on the bottom, dogfish. Let's get this fella back. Well, first big bait came back untouched. This is the one that I thought I was having a couple of pulls. Nothing wanted it. So, I don't know, I might wrap another piece of squid onto that. Right, so I just put a bit of bluey head and squid out on the next one. I've blasted it out. The reel just pulled a little there now. Probably just tight. I might have to just tighten the drag a little. Anyway, I'll be fishing an hour and 40 minutes. One pollock fishing just down the edge on the small rod, and one doggy on the scratching rig. Not very good so far. Maybe we'll see some action when we lose the light a little. So at the moment I've got bluey and squid and mackerel and squid out on the big rods. I've got ragworm and squid on the scratching rig. I'm about to bring that one in, and I'm going to try 2 strips of mackerel, looking for a dab or a whiting. Let's see how many species we can get in the day. Anyway, right, tightliners, let me tell you a little bit about the rods and reels that I'm using today. So on the left hand side there I've got a Shimano Speedmaster on a Century tip tornado. On the far side here that's an SL30 on a Ziplex Dream Machine GS Match, which I purchased over 35 years ago. Yeah, and then the latest rod that I have with an SL20 on it is a Pen PPT Sidewinder, endorsed by Neil McKellow, and that was a rod that I've just picked up recently. It was actually given to me by the man who means so much to me in fishing and obviously in life as well, because it was my dad. He doesn't fish too much now, well, he hasn't fished for a long time because his knees and what have you, but anyway, I'm so grateful. It's a powerful rod. I'm just hoping tonight that I can get something on it as a, you know, brilliant way of saying thank you to Dad. Well, still quiet. Just had some very small taps now on the scratching rig, but nothing's really taken it. Just very, very tentative bites. So I'll leave that develop a little bit again, and hopefully there'll be something there. No chydig. Right, whatever's on here has got a little bit of weight on it. Now this is the scratching rig, and it would be just typical to get a ray or something really decent on here. It's not fighting, so it's staying very low. Staying low, typical of the ray. Well, tight liners, there was something really heavy on there. I did have that one going up and over, but like I said, there was the scratching rig and it did break me. But I have got a scorpion on the top hook. I will identify that in a minute, whether it's a long or a short. I'll come back in a minute, I'll show you it properly. Right, tight liners, what we have is a short spined sea scorpion. So even though they've got spines on them, they're not poisonous. Yeah, so it's a short spined. I know that because there's no white barb kind of thing coming off there. Anyway, let's get this fish back. So that's species number 3 for the day. Norman chydig. Right, tight liners. There's a little knock there now on the big rod. The one that's got mackerel and squid on it. When I got that scorpion, I was on that scratching rig. And there was definitely something heavy on it. It didn't give me much of a fight at all. And it stayed really low, which is characteristic of a ray. Now, let's hope that there's something playing with this now, and that it will develop in a minute now. I can feel it now, it's starting to pull on the top of the rod now. I'm going to just go down the bottom there, see what's going on. I'm going to put it back for a bit, let it develop. Dewch chi nôl yn chydig. Well, tight liners, it's now 10 to 8 in the evening. It's starting to get a little colder now, time to put the hoodie on. Only 3 species so far. So a pollock dog and a short spined sea scorpion. There is something playing with that bait still, so I still live in hope on that one. Anyway, playing the normal chydig. Right, that's better. Yeah, there's something definitely pulling on that middle rod now. Hopefully it'll take some line in a minute and start screaming that reel. Very tentative, ours is a little bit better. It would be nice to get a debut fish on this rod. got a bite on my scratching rig. Quite a good one too. Right, let's get him started. Quick swap of rods. Yeah, there's fish on this one. Yeah, it's heavy. This is just right everywhere. Just like I said it would be, just a doggy. Well, tight liners, that bite I was getting on my dad's old rod is a doggy. Oh, I've left it there a long time, it's taken it right down. Even the circle hook, whoops. But you know, the bait isn't intended for these fellas, but there we go, they've taken it, and I got to try and get this out of here now without doing too much damage. Anyway, no, I'm not kidding. Well, tight liners, I've had some knocks now on the Ziplex. That's been out there a long time now. I think I better bring that in because it could be a dog, and I don't want it to be swallowing the hooks all the way. Right, tight liners, not a lot happening really. So we've had, how many now? 3 dogs. Bites are very, very slow. We've had a couple of small tentative bites on the big baits. But well, 2 of them have ended up being a dog, haven't they? So just had one small knock on the scratching rig again there now. That one's got mackerel on a bottom hook under the lead. It's got a mackerel on the top hook and ragworm in the middle. Just thing is here, you just don't know what can happen here. There is so many different species here. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it and we'll see what's what. Working on, look at these. Fish on, tight liners. Probably a dog again. We're looking now to see if we can get in, but I don't think we're going to. There's a knot. There he goes. Another dog. Taking on ragworm. There you go. Normal chydig. Well, tight liners. It's becoming Doggy Central. Everything I'm throwing out is coming back doggy, 2 at a time on that one, another one on that one. That wasn't meant for a dog. The big baits are bouncing now. I've put a squid out this time, just on its own, just to see what happens. Anyway, I have to get these fish unhooked and get them released. It'd be really nice to be able to bring you something different than dogs. But at the moment, I'm going to have to try and fish through them. Right, there we go. 3 doggies ready for release. No. That one didn't want to take it. So what I've got on this one is a bit of squid, and it's on the dongle. So what happens is that I clip the dongle onto my bait clip, and I've got a 4-0 circle hook by there. In theory, we're supposed to be able to hook up better. And what I've been told, or what I've seen on other clips on the internet, is that you're supposed to get a better fight with your fish as well. I'm not sure how, but there we go. Probably another double shot ahead. Double shot of dog from here. There you go, yet another dogfish to add to the collection. Oh, relentless. Dogfish Central. No, chydig. Right, 3 more doggies, 2 on one on the scratching rig and 1 on the big, oh, it's pewing. Anyway, 1 on the big bait. Again, we're just going to try and fish through them, just in hope that there is a ray or a huss, or even something nice on the scratching rig. Rockling, 3-bit rockling, a ling, anything. Anyway, no chydig. Well, tight liners, tough session tonight. Lots of dogs, probably about 12 in total in the end. Um, my phone died, so I didn't manage to get a load of video done towards the end of the session. I think probably I dropped one, or I got broken off with one ray on a scratching rig. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Anyway, it was a tough session. We'll see what happens in the next session, but until that one, keep your lines tight.